Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another video. If you caught my channel last week, you will have seen Arenanet release some preliminary information about Expansion 6. That would be Mini X-Pack 3. And as of last night, so I'm sort of recording in the middle of the next day here, they've announced the name. I believe we have a release date. We have a trailer and a blog post that talks about, I guess, various features and things. So in this video, I'm going to go through it. This is... so what I usually do when they do a big announcement like this is I go and I read the whole blog post, and then I like sum it up later. I'm trying something a little bit different with the announcement this year. I'm just going to do it blind. This is my first impressions. Right now as I speak, I know basically nothing about this. I know what the logo looks like. I vaguely know what some of the trailers look, the like screenshots look like. And I've panned through the trailer for like a second just to make sure it works. That's about it. I think it's Inquesty related, which is really surprising to me. If this is a big Inquest expansion, I wasn't expecting that at all. At the end of Janthia Wilds, they did a lot of story hooks. They talked about the Pale Tree a ton. Keith on a whole quest for that. They didn't talk about the Inquest ever. But looking at the logo for the announcement, it looks like it's Inquesty. And the name of the expansion has like eternity in it too. And I don't know whether that feels somewhat Inquesty to me. You know, when we think of the infinite coil reactor or the eternal alchemy, the Asura belief system, I don't know. So it's a real curveball to me. I guess from Arenanet's perspective, what might be happening here is, and some of you guys watching this video, you might be feeling this. I've seen this feedback a lot through Secrets of the Obscure and through, I mean, hell, even End of Dragons and Janthia Wilds. A lot of people have been saying, you know, I'm not really that into the Guild Wars story anymore because it's so Guild Wars 1 centric. It's Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 1. Now, for the Guild Wars 1 nerds out there like me, or, you know, if you guys have watched my Let's Plays on Guild Wars 1 or whatever, you've read the wiki pages about them, that's awesome, and we've been having a blast. But for a lot of other people, the story doesn't quite hit for them. And they think, well, can we do some Guild Wars 2 stuff? And it's like, well, okay, post-Elder Dragons, what can they latch onto? The Inquest is kind of a brilliant thing. If they're looking to do a very Guild Wars 2 focused story and objective, Inquest is a great place to go. The big, like, outstanding thing with the Inquest has always been we don't really know who their leader is at the top of the chain. So I wonder whether we'll get that here. Are we going to see some crazy revelations in the trailer? Are we going to learn who E is? I don't know. So let's run on in. What I've done for the video is I've prepared a bunch of screenshots of the blog post. Now, unlike some of the other expansion reveals, they were a bit short with this. It's basically just the one blog plus a trailer. So let's jump in. Oh, actually, oh man. I've also got, hold on, let's see. I want to show you guys something else here. A new login screen from Mr. Modius here. As you guys know, he's been making these for the channel for a while. Check this out. Holy crap, that was very loud, wasn't it? That was very loud. Look at how cool this is! Oh my god. I know they said that these old login screens were a security risk, but holy shit. This is just the best. So basically, as time goes forward, guys, I'm going to be doing a lot of press for the expansion. We'll cover all the news as it comes out, and I'll put that login screen on, like, for the intros or the backgrounds. It's going to be so cool. Thanks very much to Mr. Modius for that. And yeah, guys, I will be continuing, because they haven't revealed everything here today. It's just the one blog post. Keep an eye on the channel. You know, I think there's lots of news about elite specs and stuff coming up. If you guys are going to buy it or pre-order it, now last year I didn't know whether I really recommended a pre-order, or the year before. I think at this point, you know if you're liking the mini X-Packs. If you are going to buy it, the very top link in the description is my affiliate link. If you hit that, it supports the channel, and it means everything if you do. So I'm not going to keep going on and on about that, but I'll mention it here at the start. So let's see what they got. Here's how the blog post opens. Announcing Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity. By the way, apparently there was a little bit of a leak as well. Maybe, I don't know, a few hours before the main reveal, some press site gave the information too early. Oh, I'm actually dying in game here. Someone's pulled a scalp over to me. I guess what we can do is fly into the sky here. So yeah, I guess some people figured this out a bit early and saw the logo or whatever. I was basically still in the dark until right now. So by the Guild Wars 2 team, July 15th. Today we're thrilled to announce our next expansion, Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity, and its release date. Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity launches on October 28th, 2025, and like the previous 2 expansions, will bring with it a year of story chapters, 3 major content updates. You can get an overview of what to expect from our 6th expansion on the official page, and we'll be sharing tons of additional details between now and launch. Immediately, actually, I haven't looked. So how detailed is the official page? Maybe we'll do another video on that. But there, as you guys see, the release date is October 28th. That's Halloween. That's not unheard of for Guild Wars. I think Heart of Thorns released around Halloween's. Remember, they had like the Night Fury Mystic Forge recipe came in at the same time, and I'm pretty sure it was a Halloween release. I think some of us were expecting mini X-Packs to be like every summer. But I don't think Arenanet ever fully confirmed that. I think they just gave a ballpark of every one year to 1.5 or something. The delay, so to speak, on this has actually been known for a long time. They tacitly announced this on the forums around Christmas, that there was going to be like an extra 3 months of development on this. I think it's a knock-on effect from the fact that Janthia Wilds came out like later in summer than Secrets of the Obscure did, maybe, or something. But anyway, so what that does, guys, is that puts us about, 3 months away, which will be plenty of time for them to explain it and reveal as much as they can with it, I assume. So, adventure on an unknown island. Tyria's leaders, I've never read this, Tyria's leaders are anxious about rumors of covert inquest voyages launched in search of Castora. Castora I've never heard of. It's not a thing in lore that I know about. Castora is an island so remote that it's long been thought to be inaccessible or even non-existent. The risks involved prevent all but the most tenacious and perhaps foolhardy of pursuers from investigating the Inquest's plan. Your race to discover the Inquest plot will lead you across 2 new open-world regions at launch, each filled with magical energies and strange creatures. 2 additional maps will open as the story continues over the course of the year. If you followed my coverage last week, I already explained this. Yeah, Quarter 1 is not a content update this year. It's more of a feature pack update. We don't know what those features are yet. Maybe by the end of this blog post. For Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity, we'll be releasing story chapters differently than we've done for the previous 2 expansions. To read about this and other insights, check out our retrospective blog from last week. Oh, they do consider last week's thing a retrospective. Interesting. It felt like a retrospective. So a new island. All right. Okay. I guess we got to talk about this straight away. An unknown island. Inaccessible, even in non-existent. The first thing that jumps to my mind, and it's gonna be this for everyone, I think, that's into the lore on any level, is Utopia and the island of Zoteka. So if you guys don't know the story here, that's in Guild Wars 1, they had Prophecies, the original release. Then they had a whole new campaign in the south, in Cantha, with factions. Then they did a whole other one, Nightfall, in the below the Crystal Desert in Alona. And they were planning on doing another one. It was going to be another one. It was going to be called Utopia. And it was set on another island, another landmass, probably with, there was a tutorial island, and just like Cantha had a tutorial island. There was probably going to be another one, and it was going to be called the Isle of Zoteka. But it got cancelled because they wanted to be more ambitious with the game engine, and eventually they made Guild Wars 2 instead. That's the end of the story, really. Some of the art and concept art got rolled into Eye of the North and so on. Until about, 5 years ago, an official art book came out, a Guild Wars 2 official art book. And in the art book, they had a bunch of information about this island, Zoteka, and they spoke about lore on the island as though it was canon. So it's now like this semi-canon thing where it's like, wow, wait, is that still a part of the world building, Zoteka? It was going to be a very time travel, mist-themed expansion. One of the classes was going to be the Chronomancer, a lot of dead heroes and things were going to be alive again. So now fast forward to today, we're in Mini X-Packs. The unifying thing of Mini X-Packs is this theme of the mists and extra Tyrian threats. Zoteka, the Utopia stuff, kind of fits quite well into it. If it's like a weird, magically drifting island, invisible island, difficult to find island, Zoteka's perfect, right? I think the idea of a mini X-Pack at Zoteka is great. But then we come to the post. And it's not called Zoteka. It's called Castora. Like, everything they've written here could be describing Zoteka, but they use the word Castora instead, which is interesting to me. Now, here's my theory straight away. I think it is Zoteka. I think it's just going by another name. What's another example of that? It's like Glint and Vlast, you know, it's the same thing. It just kind of had a Guild Wars 2 name to conceal it a little bit, or like it had changed a bit. I wonder if it's the same thing. I wonder if as we play through the story, there's going to be a bit of a rug pull moment. Maybe not too far in, maybe Act 1 or something, where we realize, oh shit, this is it. This is Guild Wars Utopia. This is Guild Wars 1's Utopia stuff. I mean, it's a complicated story with a lot of elements to it because so much of Utopia was folded into Eye of the North. But at the end of the day, if they consider it part of the canon... My other thing that I'm wondering about is, okay, it's a remote, inaccessible island, long thought not to exist. Does that mean we can't see it on the world map right now? So where could it be on the world map? This, I feel like, is such a brilliant candidate because it feels like it's got detail there or whatever. But I don't know. I also very often get the impression that when Arenanet draw all of this map art in, they don't always have very structured ideas of what they're doing. The question is, why is it invisible? Sorry, not why is it invisible, but why is it so hard to find? And the thing is, Guild Wars lore is very thin in some places. One of the places it's thin is in terms of like communication with distant continents. We get no information about it. You know, like Ellen Keel could talk to us a lot about shipping lanes, like the Battle Isles. What kind of knowledge do we have of the Battle Isles? Do people in Istan sail there regularly? I mean, you'd think they might. Do people in Kaineng or the Great Turtle Highlands or something? Like, you would think there's something, but it's one of those things where we in the audience don't know because it's just never been tabled. So that question now sort of applies to the idea of a whole new island. What do I think they'll do? I think they might just dump it. I don't want this. I wonder if we'll get like a Dragonfall type thing, where basically just a landmass appears out in the water somewhere in the unending ocean. I don't want that because to me, speculating about the future in Guild Wars, like I like to think of the map as concrete, and when they do stuff like Dragonfall, it kind of like debases it somehow. But I don't know. I don't know why I don't think it's this. I mean, maybe it is this. If there's Inquest there, we had a lot of Inquests nearby-ish. Maybe. And Janthir Wilds, see, this is the other thing. Janthir Wilds had so many hooks and so many story ideas for places we might go. But the Inquest wasn't anything. They did, however, talk about Dizlana a few times. I know that the label for Dizlana is really high up here. But actually, I feel like it's, you know, as far as I remember from the earlier labels, it was further to the right. Or maybe Guild Wars 1 suggested it was further to the right. I don't know. Is this it? Is this Castora? What did they call it again? Castora? That's new to me. I don't know. I'll be mind blown if that's mentioned. I mean, it almost feels like a Silvari area, doesn't it? Wait, Castora Waypoint. Isn't that a thing in ore, maybe? Castoria? Was Castoria a thing? Anyway, I think it's new. And so what does that give them? A totally clean slate, I guess, to do whatever they want. The idea of an island adventure is also very thrilling to me because what I really want is that sense of an adventure. Start on one place, spread across it, you know. I guess the other thing about that place on the world map I was just looking at is it big enough to sustain the full mini-X pack? I mean, that really... Maybe launch... What would we say? Half a map and then half a map? Maybe? And then what? For the post-patches, there's 2 more maps coming, right? Could be anywhere, doing anything. We might have a Nios situation again. So there we go. We're racing to discover the Inquest plot. Now, what might the Inquest plot be? I'm thinking it's Menzies. I think Janthir Wilds, as messy as it is with the storytelling, and I'm not a very big fan of how Janthir Wilds ended, I do think that Menzies manipulating that faction might have something to do with it. I would like to see a reveal for the big wig. We might get some follow-ups from, like, Kudu's daughter, remember, that we had in Sandswept Isle? Could we get a subject Theta? I don't know. I kind of like the idea of lots of Inquests because, again, it will be a shake-up on the sort of enemies we fight again, you know? I'm ready to fight some more golems and things. But, yeah, the idea that Menzies is maybe manipulating them or they're collegial in some way could be a thing. Right, so I believe around now on the blog post, they link the trailer. So here's a screenshot. This is... You know, it's funny I just mentioned Dragonfall. That looks so much like Dragonfall to me. It's interesting seeing all the ley line energy inside that tree. Is that leyline energy? Just a super magical jungly forest. We kind of knew it was going to be a jungle biome because the elite specialization teasers that they've been doing the past little while have had like that jungly background. And I did say in my coverage of that, you know, guys, this could be anywhere. You know, it doesn't mean the Maguma jungle necessarily. I mean, even Secrets of the Obscure had jungle in it via the, you know, the horn, I guess, but, you know, the fractal section. So what I think I'm going to do, guys, I want to watch the trailer. I don't know about you guys. I want to watch the trailer. I'm completely blind on this. I'm going to cut the game footage here so that it's muted. And okay, so I have the power to pause this and do commentary at any moment. I'm going to watch it in full. And then we will do the commentary, okay? And I'll probably go back and start pausing. So let's see what we've got. The trailer. Look at that. Look at that logo, man. It's so good. God, the sound effects. Oh, wait. This is still just the login screen. Hold on 1 second. I had the trailer queued up and then obviously swapped to that. Okay, here's the trailer. Oh, shit.
The inquest are searching for, we need to find it first.
Must resist urge to pause.
These fools have no idea the power that's
Whoa.
buried here. The ley energies on Castora flow in abundance. The wildlife is vicious. Finding the future requires exceptional vision. We will use every tool at our disposal. After this is done, they'll remember us forever.
Oh, is that him? Is that the big guy? Oh, that's cool with the raptors. What would you sacrifice for power? Interesting. Here we go, and here's there. Dude, their art department has not missed a beat. Look at how good that logo is. It's like I was saying with the elite specialization reveals. The art, the concept art is still just as good as it was 10 years ago, you know, with launch. That's incredible. Okay, wow. All right, so a lot of thoughts. First of all, actually seeing the Inquest, you know what? For a while there, I did have Inquest fatigue, specifically around Sandswept, you know, or like the Inquest were there at Draconis Mons, and you know, the Inquest just kept popping up over and over and over and over again. But we've had a good break from them for now. Okay, here's what really strikes me. So much nautical stuff. Are they gonna... Okay, seriously, guys, I don't know what they're about to show. Are they gonna reveal that sailing is a thing? I mean, we have skiffs already. Are there, like, big skiffs? Is that one of the features? The thing is, it's interesting there's so much nautical stuff, because I was expecting... I would have thought, if I was Arenanet, right, I'd probably have on my whiteboard of ideas, like some kind of water expansion, deep sea monster, Raisu Palace maybe, whatever, like a watery expansion. And you'd probably think, well, let's save all of those themes for that. But it looks like, you know, they're just going big with it, with sailing there. There was so much piratey stuff we just saw a minute ago. Kind of makes me think of the Fractal, actually. Siren's Reef. Anyway, okay, so... This is cool. I don't remember... Actually, that ship model, I think that's one of the ships you used to be able to climb around on in Lion's Arch, no? But it looks good. It's like a nice galleon. By the way, the wind in the sky. Do you guys see like the clouds and stuff moving? Is that just to give an impression of it moving? Or is it... we'll get some cool sky effects. Here! Okay. Is that Saida? Like all pumped up and looking posh? No way, right? Also, I'm guessing the one on the left is the stand-in for the commander? Maybe? Look at this! Look at the waves! Oh my god, that's really good. In Jandir Wilds, if you guys haven't played it or you didn't follow too closely, they actually had some good water physics going on, you know, some nice, like, waves lapping at the shorelines. They did make improvements. Dude, look at that. It's like stormy, tempesty waters. Maybe this is the kind of watery expansion. Right? Who's to say you can't do Inquest at the same time? That looks incredible. Then here, look at the clear, turquoise, crisp waters. You guys know me. You know for years I've been asking for the Mittani Keys. You know for years and years and years I've been saying I'd love to go to the Mittani Keys. Let's get some game audio back, shall we? This I'm guessing isn't the Mittani Keys, but this is the kind of vibe I wanted. Wow, look at the boat shipwrecked really high up on the rock there. That's a bit like ore. I like those floating blue plants too. New assets. That's the other thing. I've said this every announcement. New assets always make my heart sing. I want to see new assets. That big orange tree in the background there as well is new. I've seen a good amount of them in this trailer, so that's very cool. Isgarin is here. I'm not sure who that character on the left is that's walking forwards. There's some voiceover that suggested they were speaking, weren't there? I guess this will be a thing where this is like a big mystical ancient place or whatever, and Isgarin can fill us in a bit. Whether there'll be really deep ties to Seer culture or something here, I don't know. Lots more floating islands and things. Oh, and there was some kind of cool bug in the background there too. This looks nice, but also, I'm going to be honest, very POF in a lot of ways. But POF was, in my opinion, the most beautiful expansion. Look at that. Look at that shot. Do you know what? That's a lot like Morgan's Spiral in Caledon Forest. You know, the jumping puzzle where there's an event at the bottom and you've got to grow the tree and then you can climb up. And there's actually 2 jumping puzzles back to back. It reminds me of that. Orbs in the sky, I'm guessing we can sky scale around on and collect. Guessing. They're kind of a different color, though. They're a different vibe to the normal ley magic that we'd find floating around. Speaking of ley magic's a big thing here. Isn't Aurene regulating and sorting all this shit out? So yeah, here, this is more Dragonfall-y feeling areas. Look at it, it's quite gorgeous. Lots of verticality. I'm still a little bit cynical when it comes to new map exploration, I must be honest, guys, because mounts kind of have deteriorated it quite a lot for me. I still believe in a format of Guild Wars 2 where you slowly unlock access to the mounts as you do map comp. But hey, got some nice classic mowers there. Look at this tree! Look at that tree! Holy shit, that's good. And what is this? Is that a raptor mount or just an enemy? One thing I've said over and over again is the skins they invent for the mounts should be enemies. We should be able to fight them. They should be able to repurpose them into combat rigs and have them as enemies. That looks really cool. So colourful. Someone casting some kind of a spell. Crystals in the back. I'm guessing that's probably one of the new elite specializations. Here we got a giant lobster thing. My instinct is to say shark, but let's not. Again, that's a very fresh, very new feeling enemy, isn't it? You know, look at Secrets of the Obscure. Look how much judgment was levied at Secrets of the Obscure for the Cryptis. You know, doing the Picasso-style, just jumbled mess of enemies that really didn't capture people. Look at the criticism levied even at End of Dragons. That was a full-funded expansion for, you know, just doing so many void enemies where it's basically just a black filter on these things. People want new enemies. People want exciting new assets and models. And this looks pretty good, you know? And it summons a big tidal wave. That's very Naga-esque, isn't it? Speaking of End of Dragons. Okay, and now this. All right. I'm guessing this is a skimmer. Every mini-X pack has reworked a mount. My guess was the Roller Beetle. They recently did a new Roller Beetle course. Its acquisition is a bit weird. But looking at this, if that's a skimmer, like a bug version of a skimmer, don't we see it flying and shooting? I'm guessing the skimmer rework's coming. That crocodile thing looks awesome. New pets, by the way? Here, look. This is clearly a guy on a skimmer. And by the way, the skimmers with wings, that's probably really novel to you guys. And like, wow, that looks really exciting. Because it's cool as shit. My favorite skimmer skin for years has been the hummingbird. Like, they nailed that years ago. Like, one of the legendary, so to speak, skimmer skins. I think they work really well with, like, the fluttering animation. So if everyone gets to have that... You know, when we got the... Warclaw, we kind of got a different version. When you got the Sky Scale, you had another path to get it. If it unlocks this, that's badass. And look, he's clearly shooting. Wow, so combat capabilities. The rework involves allowing you to fight a little. I'm not sure about that right now, guys. Sky Scale combat isn't really that interesting to me. I'm not the kind of person that sits there in a meta event spamming the fireball. I know some people do, but doesn't it often feel a bit leechy and a bit iffy? You know, whenever I get on the turtle to slam against a wall, it's not that captivating gameplay. I'd rather be the gunner shooting, but they've never invented anything that has you running around recharging ammo well enough, because the drive is usually stationary hitting the wall. So I don't know how I feel about combat mounts yet. And they haven't done like mount phases in fractals or raids or whatever, or converge. I mean, convergent, they could do something good with that. Maybe next year's convergence has a cool skimmer combat phase. I feel like Arenanet hasn't quite got there for me for a lot of that so far. Because it's a hard balance to hit. You can't make the combat on the thing too good, because then people will never get off it. So it has to have some kind of like limit or whatever. I guess we'll see. The theme of the attacks look very similar to the leyline energy. And look at this, just more piratey stuff. I don't know who these characters are. We get another cast. Oh man, see, I was just getting to know Poised Arrow. Who are all these people? Is this just showcasing skins that you get for the pre-order bonus? I really hate that weapon on the right. I think that looks so ugly. But, I mean, it's pretty par for the course. Look at that in the background, by the way. Is that a jackal? Is that like a warclaw or something? Floating like some kind of nature spirit back there? Look at that thing. Look at it. What is that? This, okay, yeah, I think these are player characters, I think these are player characters, not like NPCs we meet. And why I say that is because these money bags on screen, that's a totally new animation. I've never seen anything like that. I'm guessing that's a part of the new elite specialization. So I'm guessing that's like a bounty hunter. It's a guy with a rifle. So one of the classes that can use rifle. Money, it's got to be bounty hunter. One of the new icons. So there is a video coming where me and Boots sit down and we say what we think everything is. I don't know where this blog post will go into more detail. But I'm guessing that's a bounty hunter, which means... Okay, so what might the others be? So she's some kind of fire dancer, maybe? I don't know. She's very scantily dressed. And, I mean, what the hell can I learn about that Norn in the front, in the middle? Is she a Norn? Looks like a Mesmer with a staff. I don't see anything distinct that it's doing with it. Oh, this thing might be... Ah, you know what? There was a quick frame where we saw the caster casting. And then we saw this. I think this is a summon. Oh my god. Is it possible that the Guild War... No. The Guild War Suit Ritualist is definitely on Necro. We've seen the concept art. That looks like a familiar. Or that's like an elemental... That's like a fire attunement elemental companion. I think that's a part of the fire spec. For Ellie. I think it gets NPC allies. So then we see the bounty hunter. Ah. And then that was the Mesmer playing a flute. So the Mesmer is the minstrel. That was a Mesmer playing a flute, so yeah. Well, there you go. That's 3 of the elite specs. Like, straight up, I'm 90% confident about all of those. Then we get into some Inquesty stuff. Nice, different vibe. Again, feels very Sandswept to me. But I love Sandswept. It was one of the highest quality maps they ever did. The things they did with the engine and stuff there. I mean, that's gorgeous. Look at that. That wouldn't take much to be a very, very, very good like desktop wallpaper. Got another giant cannon. Now, is the architecture very similar just because they only have so many assets to play with? Or is it very similar because some of the experimentation they were doing last time we saw them is deeply related to this? I love these lasers going off. The suggestion there's like laser towers off in the distance. So then there's someone running. Ritlock is in the background. Hello! Ritlock main cast member, very excited about that. That's going to be cool as shit. I'm looking forward to adventuring with him again. And that's funny, because Janthir Wilds really tried to make it seem like he was about to retire or step away from things. Definitely Ritlock there. Love it. And yeah, this Sasura Necro has got to be the stand-in for the commander here. I guess is a ritualist, maybe? That's sick. I don't know what that thing on the floor was. Ritlock and Isgaran. I wonder what scenes are going to be like between those two. Those are two characters I really like. Someone dead on the floor over there as well. And this. Okay, I think that guy's got to be the leader of the Inquest. Look at him. You know, I always imagined him to be a really old, curmudgeon-y dude. Like Flunt, but not comedic, actually, you know. Like, I really like the idea that he's been holding on to power for ages through cybernetically augmenting himself or magitechically augmenting himself or whatever you like. But it looks like he's much more younger and ferocious. I don't know. I could be wrong. But this is very fascinating to me. So those raptors, we've had like raptor skins in the game already that have like hollow, holographic armaments and stuff, right? That's not those skins exactly, is it? Are they new skins? It's very curious to me that they're flanking him like they're going to fight, which I think is really exciting. I also like the idea of getting a lot of story about his two, like, nasty pets or whatever. Look at these things. Look at how cool they are. And one of those big golems in the back. What would you sacrifice for power? I think that question is alluding to the previous shot as well. What is this guy sacrificed for power? What are the Inquest doing here, you know? And maybe the commander will be asked this too. Really beautiful, gorgeous. Okay, there you go. That's the trailer. That's my first impressions, frame by frame, or let's say shot by shot. Let's be real here. Trailer analysis. Now, there's more to come though. Let's get back here in game. Let me have a real quick look here. I don't mean to bag the video down and make it too long. I know you guys want shorter videos. Mounts. If I just type hollow. Or if we click the raptor and we type... No, it's not hollow. What is it? There's definitely like a holographic raptor skin, and I've got it. Oh god, there's so many to mouse over. Maybe I don't have it, actually. Maybe... Oh, the exosuit. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, the exosuit's slightly different. I know the colors are different there. It's not an exosuit raptor. That's quite exciting. It's interesting as well. If they're doing the skimmer overhaul and all of that he doesn't have two skimmer pets. But that would look a lot, you know, goofier and sillier than what we've ended up getting, I suppose. So, hey. All right. Next image here. So, there you go. We get a screenshot. We saw that in the trailer. Expansion features! Okay, what do we got here? New elite specializations. Well, we already knew about this, but let's see what they have to say. Elite specializations are back! Exclamation mark. And well-earned! Exclamation mark. That is indeed Arenanet. Give yourselves a pat on the back for that. Influences from members of the Tyrian Alliance bring new ways to play each of our 9 professions. In Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity, you'll experience new trait lines, profession mechanics, healing, utility, elite skills, adding many new ways to play your characters. From the August 20th to 27th. Oh, okay, so a ways away from now. We're holding an in-game preview week for you to beta test all of them. When that preview arrives, we'll ask you for feedback to help us take each elite specialization through the polish phase and into launch. That'll be a big moment. I remember being very disappointed in the End of Dragons stuff, which still feels so recent to me, but Jesus, three releases ago now. We'll be back next week to kick off a series of blogs and live streams to talk about them in great detail. Oh my god, I'm going to cover those, definitely. How am I going to juggle my Oblivion LP and some of the other stuff I want to do in the channel with all of this? Oh god. Oh, nice. Okay, good. And if it's a week for each elite spec or whatever, I'm very excited about that. I think that's quite clever, by the way. We've had a few conversations. Are the elite specializations going to be like all on theme with the new area? And it's a nice idea, right? But I've sort of pointed out they've never really done that well. They tried very hard with End of Dragons, but here, just saying, look, they're influences from the Tyrian Alliance. What that means is they can do any kind of elite spec, any theme they like, and still have a stand-in character to talk about it, represent it. That leads to us a whole other world of speculation, guys. Maybe pause the video. Give me your thoughts. Who then is the Bard? Oh my god, are we going to get Ho-Ho-Tron back? That would be amazing. So who is, you know, who's the Ritualist going to be? Who's the Paragon? Very curious. And whatever the other names are here. So that's fine. There you go. We get an image of the Bard there. Oh, so it had a flute in the trailer. It has... I don't know what string instrument this is. That's a lute. Is that a lute? I mean, I really don't know. Do you pluck a lute? Is she plucking that? Anyway, I like the ghostly purple one in the background. So there's at least 2 instruments. Skimmer Mastery. In Visions of Eternity, the Skimmer mount will be featured with new and updated mechanics. Hover, dive, and soar faster than ever before as you explore the dangerous and beautiful environments of Castora. There's a weird thing going on with the mount overhauls at the moment, where they're like so power crept, they're breaking the balance. You know, there was a beautiful balance with the release of POF. Like, for example, to be honest, guys, how many of you still use the Raptor? I mean, if you're a fair weather Guild Wars player, you don't think about it too much. You haven't been really invested. Maybe you still use the Raptor a lot. But at the end of the day, the Warclaw is just like such a premium mount in so many ways. I very rarely skimmer. Sorry, I very rarely Springer. I very rarely Raptor now. Warclaw just does so much for me. Warclaw and Skyscale. And it's not even like those are the domain of prestige, you know, elite players. You get them very easily in these new expansions. I kind of like the skimmer because it still has quite a clearly well-defined niche. I wonder, once we're soaring and spinning everywhere now, will we be all skimmer mode? I guess we'll see. Maybe these things don't matter. In 2026, raids and strikes will be unified under the same structure, improving access for new players, streamlining rewards. We're also investing in systems that help facilitate group content. We'll talk more about in the future. Ah. 2 new raid encounters, including challenge mode and a legendary mode, will be added in the major updates to Visions of Eternity. In addition, a new convergence and a fractal with a challenge mode will also release in the final expansion update next year, giving players lots of obstacles to tackle and overcome. Let me just say, I know some of you guys will just be sort of rolling your eyes or not really caring about the convergence. I actually am really into convergences. I quite like them. I like doing the CMs. I thought Mount Barrier was pretty good. It really warmed on me over time. I mean, I've done 100 of them now for the achievement, and it was only in the back 30 or so, and once the CMs were out that it really started to click, and I realized I really did like it. But yeah, I'm quite excited about that. What's very interesting here is it's not strikes. I thought we'd leapfrog strikes, raids. We're not. We went strike missions with Secrets of the Obscure. Oh, what am I talking about? It doesn't matter. They're all the same thing now, aren't they? Of course. What am I? That's old hat, WP. Move on. Secrets of the Obscure did have raids, right? The Temple of Febe is a raid. The Cosmic Observatory is a raid, or it will be once they're unified. So yeah, okay. So there you have it. I'm a little disappointed here. We knew this already from last week's reveal. They alluded last week to systems that help facilitate group content. They alluded to it. We're all thinking it, right? Matchmaking. LFG matchmaking. Look, that is a mountain of a topic. I get it, right? Especially with role structure and there's so many things to talk about with that. But anything in that ballpark will be epically good for Guild Wars 2. It was one of the things I talked about in my video at the start of this year. I want details on that. Here they are, but they just say in the future. Oh, God. Do you know what I'm nervous about? There's going to be another World versus World Alliance type situation where we're just hearing about it for ages and ages. I hope it's coming next year, and I hope they do well. There's so many ways they can mess that up, and there's so much like technical expertise and stuff they'll need in hand with it. But that could be good. It's just a shame we don't get full details here on the announcement. Here we get another screenshot of our lobster friend. Look at his shiny carapace. He's got the weird black smoke on him up there. Is there a Menzies influence going on? Legendary treasures. Over the course of the expansion and the subsequent content updates, players can pursue 6 new legendary items. 3 weapons, a ring and accessory, and the long-requested Aqua Breather. This kind of is their water expansion in a way then, isn't it? Holy shit! You know, one of the things I've loved about Janthir Wilds is like having those 2 legendaries to go for. They really meant a lot to me, and it really gave me a lot of meaningful playtime. I actually just started looking into Obsidian Armor, which I skipped last year. But I'm kind of in that mode. I like them. But I think it's because it was doable in Janthir Wilds to get everything, because there was only 2. 6 next year? Oh my god. Why? What made them do 3 weapons? Do you guys think that they're doing all 3 underwater weapons? It's not because they're totally new weapons, right? That would have been a feature announcement. I think the ring and accessory were my expectation. You know, we had armor one year, we had weapons the other year, plus a backpack. Getting rings and accessories again is exciting-ish, I guess. I mean, the way that the game's structured, a bit less so, but maybe the visuals are cool. Who knows? If they had a ring that had a visual a bit like Zaquatl gives you, you know, like a companion or something, I'd be all about that. I would absolutely love that. But wow, they're doing all of it, plus the Aqua Breather. Jeez. I will probably get the Aqua Breather just for the novelty of having a pure legendary character. Oh, but then again, so little of this trailer and so few of these screenshots have shown actual underwater stuff. When I've thought about the big water expansion, I think Turtle, Skimmer, I think underwater, you know, bubbles of existence down there, air pockets or whatever. Anyway, wow, 6, that's a surprise to me. A new homestead. Okay, good confirmation of this. I think this was very obvious that they were going to do this, personally. Players who own both Janthir Wilds and Visions of Eternity will get to unlock a whole new homestead. You'll be, and this is perfect. I know some people will say, oh, it's anti-consumer or whatever. You know, you can get hysterical about this stuff. To me, everyone's finances are at their own finances. Mini expats are not that expensive. They're not that tall of an order. And I think cross-pollinating the features, just as you get Jade Bot stuff in the recent mini expats, just as there's been fishing to do in the recent expats for people who have had End of Dragons, I think cross-pollinating the features is really smart. And it will encourage people who buy the new one to actually play Janthir Wilds as well. Because you get a new homestead. That's really good. Now, I wonder what it will be. Will it be like a nice island sanctuary on a beautiful remote island or something? With the beaches? I will definitely move if it is. Because as you guys know, I like the homestead feature in principle, but I didn't really do much of it in Janthir Wilds. You'll also be able to save your decoration layout and freely swap between the Janthiri and Castoran maps with the new layouts feature. We'll share more information about the new homestead and layouts in the coming months. That's quite interesting. I think a lot of people will probably read that and it will blow their mind that that was a feature. But it's funny, as a guild leader, I know that if you swap your guild hall from, like, you know, why am I blanking on the name? The Lost Precipice to the Gilded Hallow. It just already keeps all your decorations. It just dumps them in the new map at the same coordinates. It doesn't line up very well, but that's because they never thought about it. With this, with the homesteads, all they really have to do is keep the coordinates the same, right? For where the floor is and stuff. And they sort of get that feature as a freebie almost. You know, codify it a bit, give it some UI, which is what I guess they're doing. So that's cool, a natural thing to do. I like that. And a new homestead, brilliant. I was thinking these were perfect for mini X-Packs, new homestead each time. I hope this also means that it's earned them a bit of money and, you know, homestead-related stuff is selling on the Gemstone, whatever. I haven't engaged with any of that. But hopefully enough people have that it means, you know, they'll continue to fund the feature. Because that's what we don't want. We don't want to see features just disappear, do we? So what will it be? I can conjure multiple doorways now? Other rewards. The Wizard's Vault will continue to offer seasonal rewards for players to earn as they play through the expansion. New relics. Yeah, what a surprise. Wizard's Vault, what a surprise. New armors, weapons, recipes, emotes, and more. I mean, that's obligatory there, isn't it? Okay. The features section has been okay. There's less here on features than I wanted. We knew about Elites, but Elites, look, just because we knew about it already, it doesn't mean it's not a brilliant. It's great. It's a great value for the expansion. So big win there. Okay, fair enough. It's not news for us in this video, but big win. Skimmer Master, we were expecting a mount rework, right? Whether it was the Skimmer or the Beetle or the Turtle or whatever, we were kind of expecting that, right? So maybe a little bit less exciting. They already talked about the raids and combat thing. I don't know. Maybe this has just been slightly spoiled for me because I already knew a lot of it. It's a shame there's no more details on the matchmaking thing. 6 legendaries is big news to me. That's very exciting. It's great to see confirmation of another homestead. But there's nothing like... Well, no, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I was hoping to see guild reworks. I really wanted to see guild stuff improved this mini X back. I wanted to see some of it put into the Wizard's Vault. I wanted to see achievement points and some of the UI panels changed. I wanted to see an in-game archive. So, you know, the more that the game relies on lore books and exploration information, the more that needs to be in players' faces. There's a lot of, like, infrastructure and UI stuff I think Guild Wars could really benefit from that I talked about at the start of the year. You know, I even talked about stuff like combat tonics being rideable on mounts to make them more valuable rewards and stuff. There's none of that, really. And there you go. And this last screenshot, I think, is just all the stuff. If you pre-order, this is the stuff you get. I'm not going to look, it's in my best interest to tell you guys this is all amazing. Woo! Look at that hat! Look at the outfit. Oh my god, you look like the Emperor on Zelish in Little Big Adventure 2. Wow. Look at that. You get a new shared inventory slot, a level 80 boost. Look at the weapons. Aren't they incredible? I actually think those weapons, I'm not going to lie, are unbelievably gaudy and ugly. But maybe you like them. To each their own. Pre-order now. Link in the description. Pre-purchase bonus. Oh, there you go. And that's them listing off. You guys can pause the video on this one. I'm not going to read that out for you. If you'd like to see the extra stuff you'd get. Oh, there's an extra bit here. Fashion forwards. We have one final feature. Oh, that will launch in one of the major updates. One of these, so not a launch, but it's coming next year. And it will be available to all players, regardless of expansion ownership. Fashion templates. Oh my god, this could be cool. Okay, I'm going to have one opportunity to talk about this blind, so I'm going to do it now. What I would like from fashion templates, I've been an advocate of a feature like this. What I've always wanted from Guild Wars. Okay, when I was looking at those weapons a second ago, the thing is, guys, there's too many skins in the game now. There's too many skins. You know, 6 more legendaries. Well, I already like Meteorologicus. I'm never going to make another Scepter. You know, that kind of thing. Look at this. I'm going to humble brag a little bit here. I have 342 foci. I don't need... Look at this. So, you know, when they add a new Black Lion set or something, what am I going to do with all these skins? They're really, for an established player, it doesn't mean very much. One thing that I've always thought would be really good to, like, recapture that magic, recapture that love, is if you could have, like, a build template, a fashion template, that not only you can swap... I guess it will be a third column, maybe, down here, that you can swap to, sure, but I would like to assign templates to areas of the world. That's what the dream is for me. So what I mean by that is, while my character here, Gux, is in Crater, he's wearing this. When I go to the Shiver Peaks, automatically it swaps him to the other template I assigned for the Shiver Peaks. And now in the Shiver Peaks, I'm wearing, you know, I'm wearing this, you know, my snowy outfit, right? And that's up to me to roleplay. I can pick the skins, I can pick the backpack, I can pick the glider, I can pick the weapons, I can pick the minis, I can pick the title. Look at all the titles in the game at this point. By binding them to regions, I think that would be really fun, especially if that functionality was introduced to players when they first get into the game. Region by region by region, that would be incredible. And then I would seriously start looking at a lot more skins, a lot more dies, a lot more rewards, and that incentive to play would be so much stronger. And that ultimately, that's the big thing about Guild Wars. When people get in, they need to know what to play and what to go for, and making skins exciting is a big part of that. So that's my wish for fashion templates. Let's see what Arenanet have got for us. One final feature. Fashion templates function similarly to build and equipment templates, allowing players to save a template of the aesthetic features for their armor, their back, their outfit, their dies. So it's everything build templates do plus outfits. It's not titles, it's not minis, it's not novelties. We'll share more information in the future about them and all the other features coming. Ah, there's no detail! What are the odds that they go the whole way? What are the odds they do region bounding? You know, it suddenly occurred to me that you're probably only going to get like 3 slots, and you're going to buy another slot for 400 gems on the... And that's not going to go down well. People don't remember this very well, but I'll, as objectively as I possibly can, one of the big controversies about early Icebrood Saga was that they didn't sell it as an expansion, but they were selling the build templates. That was a big deal for a lot of people. I wonder if Arenanet will fall in a similar trap this time. You can read more details. It'll be a busy summer as we prepare to set sail for Castora. Codename Zoteka? So stay tuned for more information. Wow. So they had a sneaky little announcement at the end there. This post was amended on July 15th with the corrected list of features managed by fashion templates. Oh. Well, that's good. That's very ethical that they've noted it. But what did it say originally? What was their original announcement entailing? Interesting. And then we just have a screenshot reel here, guys. Got someone on a new skimmer. This looks to me to be a ranger with the new spec. Birds? You know, if you have a warhorn, you can already summon birds to people. Are you like a falconer? I mean, look, it's got the one big glove. One of the elite spec icons is like a bow-looking thing. That looks quite interesting. Oh, I'm so interested in what the new skills and stuff are for the new elite specs. It feels like they've gone with good themes for once. I feel like Arenanet have been really iffy about the themes through POF and EOD. This new wave, I don't know, man. I mean, what are those birds? Are they doves? I think that's... We've seen that in the trailer, that one there. That beautiful tree again flying up there. Don't forget, a lot of these might become decorations. What if that's the homestead? Kind of feels like it might be, right? Flat, quite open. Here we've got more of these raptors in pens. This looks like an ancient Asura gate that's been shut down for years, maybe. Is this how the Inquest discovered this? Feels a bit like those Orion rings as well, you know, the giant arches and all, but I don't... I mean, if it is that, then it's very God-influenced, which does tie into the end of Janthia Wilds and maybe Zoteka stuff. But I'm thinking it's an old Asura gate. There's those trees with the ley lines. Oh, do you know what? That's probably the homestead. I reckon that's the homestead. That's an interesting looking building, isn't it? A lot of people were asking for the new homestead to be demolishable. Maybe have prefab things in it. Wow. And maybe that's a little bit more. This is the final screenshot. Wow. Well, there you go, guys. Okay, so there's my coverage. That's what they revealed last night. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Let me know what your thoughts are on this mini X-Pack. And guys, I'd really like a lot of comments because I'd like to do like a Q&A back and forth with you all if we get some good discussion going. Can I also say, let me know if you're excited about this, let down, whatever. Tell me what your experience with the game is these days. Like let me know. Are you actively playing? Did you buy Mini 1, Mini 2, and now you're opting out of 3? Did you skip them all, but now you're fully back on board? Like, what's your experience in the recent years? You know, for a long time, I used to be able to make videos, talk to you guys in the community, and just assume everyone had played everything. But it's not really that case anymore, and I'm interested in the full gamut of thoughts on it. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Much appreciated. Again, link is in the description if you want to check out the shop, see how much it costs in your currency or whatever. And if you do use it, it supports me. Thank you all. Keep an eye on the channel over the upcoming days as Arenanet reveal more information. I'll be doing a video recording with Boots very soon on the Elite Specializations. And, I'll note as well, I have an expanded version of this video that I originally produced live over on the Live tab on YouTube. So if you click that, you can get to some discussion before and after. Thanks very much for watching, guys. And I will see you next time.